What the government is doing when it does come to COVID-19 in this regard, the clearly dominant narrative as to the cure, and you've heard it, and it keeps coming up just more and more from different places. The stated cure is not herd immunity, and as Dr. Orient just said, natural herd immunity, meaning you're out and about, you're living life just like normal, and you pick the virus up and your body fights it off and you develop an immunity. That's the way it's been for every disease. That's not what they're talking about. And they're certainly not talking about guidelines to improve your diet. For instance, to reduce your sugar intake or reduce obesity, or to teach people that you do have a thing in your body called immune system and that you can strengthen it or you can weaken it, even though this disease is attacking those with compromised immune systems. You'd think you'd fix the problem, right? But there's nothing from government coming out in regard to that. Rather, the incessant narrative driven by the Dr. Fauci's of the world, the Bill Gates of the world, the World Health Organization and others is vaccines and forced immunizations of the world's populations. And until we get there, they say, with universal and regular testing and tracing and surveillance, with increased government surveillance as well, of course, we have no hope for this. This is what they are saying and scaring people. Even President Trump has indicated that he will mobilize, as he said, the military to distribute the vaccines to the American public when they become available, whatever that means. So, Jane, let me go to you from a medical perspective. Is it best medicine to hook all hopes to any vaccine as the only remedy that can permit life here in America and the world to resume some type of normalcy?
Well, this is insanity. For one thing, there may never be a safe or effective vaccine. Bill Gates et al. Have been working on a malaria vaccine for decades, meanwhile eviscerating programs for malaria control that have been quite effective. They've been working on an AIDS vaccine for decades, and there's no vaccine in sight. There's no vaccine for chikungunya. The one for dengue turned out to be a disaster because people who had been previously exposed to dengue had a severe adverse reaction and maybe even died. There's no vaccines for most of the illnesses that beset us. To pin all our hopes on this and then to try to rush things along when we know that to do a thorough testing of vaccines takes from 2 to 3 years, and we're going to rush this all before the end of the year. And unless you get this vaccine, you're not going to be allowed to participate in life. I mean, this is very, very damaging. Instead, we need to be doing what we can to develop the treatments and preventive measures that are effective, that are safe. They have been in use for a long time. They are not perfectly safe or perfectly effective, but chances are they are far safer and more effective than this vaccine that might not even happen.